Hey guys, it's King Fidd here, and today I wanted to do a brief rune guide for Fiddlesticks, for those of you who are picking him up. So the main thing is I think there's only really three viable keystones to take on Fiddlesticks. I think like one page I think is pretty good for lower elo players because you'll get a lot more kills in Dark Soul stacks is the Dark Harvest keystone. And you can, I think you can go either cheap shot or sudden impact for your next rune. Usually I prefer cheap shot because sudden impact is more of like if you're like an experienced Fid player and you know that it's a game where you're really going to be only interacting with people with your ultimate. So in lower elo, yeah, I think you can get more fights where you're just using your basic abilities, and then cheap shot will do more damage in those games. Um, the second row, I think you should pretty much only go eyeball collection. I've had people try to tell me that Ghost Poro is good, but I have some games where like no matter how well of a spot I place my effigies in, the Ghost Poro, it still gets discovered by like people just walking into random spots, and my Ghost Poro ends up never stacking. So I think you should just go eyeball collection for like it's pretty much more consistent. You get these free stats. And then lastly, I think you should go Ultimate Hunter every game, so you can get a lower ultimate cooldown for Fiddlesticks. If you're going the domination page, I think usually it's best to go Inspiration as your secondary. Cosmic Insight for the lower Summoner spell cooldowns, so you can use your flash more. I think there's quite a few good options as your other rune. You can go Cashback. I think Magical Footwear is going to be good next patch because boots are getting nerfed, so it's not as important to rush them anymore. So magical footwear is probably going to be decent. X flash is pretty decent, and then also triple tonic is pretty decent as well. It does help you reach your max rank fear a little bit faster, which can be useful, and some of the other elixirs can be useful as well. Additionally, I think approach velocity can be somewhat decent as well if you don't feel like you need a lower flash cooldown. Um, and like maybe jack of all trades. I'm not too big of a fan on this rune, but I don't think you're like trolling if you take this one. Those are all good options in the inspiration tree. Additionally, secondary, you can also go something like absolute focus with gathering storm if you just want a bunch of free stats. And you can also go like triumph plus like cut down for some more extra damage. Yeah. Anyways, in the other keystone, another keystone you might want to go is Electrocute. Electrocute is what I go every game. It's just more consistent and higher elo. It'll usually do more damage than Dark Harvest, because sometimes there's not as much fighting. And you just want a guaranteed set amount of damage you'll do every game, and not have to rely on getting kills and soul stacks from Dark Harvest, which can be pretty good. And then lastly, I think the third keystone you go on Fiddle 6 is First Strike. If you're going First Strike, I think you should usually combine it with Cash Back, because the main thing is that First Strike actually gives less gold than it used to, but when you combine it with Cash Back, it actually gives a similar amount of gold as to what First Strike originally used to give. So if you combine these two, you can end up with like an entire half item to maybe even an entire item ahead of where you would usually be, which gives you a lot of extra strength. I think you should go triple tonic after that and cosmic insight or approach velocity. And then I think if you're going first page inspiration, you should always go domination as your secondary. There's a few options you can do in domination, but you should always take ultimate hunter. And then you've got the option between cheap shot, sudden impact, or eyeball collection. Depending on how you want to play the game. Eyeball collection is just like an extra. You're really going for that late game scaling. So uh, yeah, that's pretty much it. And then for your minor runes, I think you should always do double adaptive and a scaling HP. I really don't think flat HP will make much of a difference. Usually by the time you're interacting with people, you're already level 6, and that's when it's pretty much equal to scaling health anyways, so I think you should just go scaling health. I guess you could take an ability haste shard if you really want to, but that can mess up some of his double camp clear, so I usually just go double adaptive. And I guess that's pretty much it. One last thing is go Glacial Augment. I think you're trolling. That's a terrible rune to go on Fiddle 6 jungle. Uh, don't go it. And let's see. I also sometimes see people take like Arcane Comet, and I think that is, I guess, an okay rune page as well. Issue with Arcane Comet is that it always hits the closest target when you ult. So if you ult like a bunch of people and you're trying to focus like their Fed ADC, the comet might go on to like their tank and damage them instead because they're closer to you. So that could be an issue. But anyways, pretty much it for Fiddle's rune pages. Let me know if you have any questions in the comments below.